Vaheguru, 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 Vaheguru.
When I was about 12, I decided to be a Buddhist. I didn't know what it meant.
Oh, right.
And then I researched it and I quite liked it. But since then, I haven't really affiliated myself with one religion. I've liked parts of all, but I've never been able to.
Yeah, no, I think that's quite common for today's society. You know, people just sort of.
Yeah.
Okay, well, what we've got is this leaflet which I showed you there.
Right, yeah.
I'll talk you through it. I mean, do you know anything about Sikhs or?
No.
No?
To be honest, I don't.
Have you met one before? Apart from me?
I have, but in terms of beliefs, I don't know anything. I have Muslim friends, I have Hindu friends.
Right.
I just know Sikh is, well, it's around the same geographical region where the Sikhs live, but in terms of beliefs,
North India. Yeah, I guess that's where we really originated from. Okay, well, what we've got is this leaflet. It's just like 3 facts, and what we go through is the message and something about what the founders did. And there's some interesting facts, you know, something a bit different that people probably don't associate with Sikhs, you know. The message is very simple. There's one creator who's all around us. So he's not just separate from the world. He's here, right here, right now. He or she, you know, it has no sex, no gender. But this one creator made all the human race, and everything around us anyway. But all the human race is the same. So whether you're whatever male or female, or religion, or race, or nationality, or sexual orientation, God doesn't care. Right? All God cares about is this thing: do we connect to this creator that made us?
Is that what you call him, God?
We use the word God, but it's not like in our scripture. But we can say the word God. It's not like there's no name for God. Like, so you can call it the Force, you can call it the One. Mostly we like to use the word the One because it's like singular. There's no two. It's just one. But this one we can connect to the top of our head, which is very similar to what the Buddhists believe in, that you can meditate and open up the 1,000 pillars. So for us, it's like a place to meditate, but also we chant and we sing. And that's and also by serving society and being very honest and honest living, we can actually open this center up. And the first experience is like an experience of divine bliss. And then as we go further down that, it's almost like going inside yourself and find the world inside you. So that's the key message, you know, that we're all equal, and the one that made us is all around us, and we can connect to it. It's kind of like a battery, and God's like the power source. So you plug in and you charge up, and you can feel really powered up with this experience
of. That's the same effects as meditation.
Exactly. So it's very empowering actually, meditation. You know, make you feel good about yourself with nothing else given to you. Just by yourself, you can feel better. So the gurus, they kind of try to spread this message, because Guru Nanak, he was given this message directly from the creator, and then he was like, well, no one's really following it. He traveled the world. He went to Mecca, Tibet, Sri Lanka, Rome, all these places, but he engaged with like the Buddhists, the Christians, and people like that. He even engaged with the Catholic Church at that time, but no one really believed that in this oneness. The Buddhists, they haven't got a God, right? So it's like meditation, but without God, right? But and the Christians believe this. I mean, most of the Catholics at that time would have believed that unless you were Christian, you're not going to get into heaven. So we don't believe in that exclusive way, of God. So the 5th Guru, he actually made so the 1st Guru found this egalitarian community. The 5th Guru, he made this town called Amritsar. Have you heard of the Golden Temple?
No.
Okay, well, it's like an iconic building, amazing place. It's in a pool of water, and there's only one entrance, but there's 4 entrances into the complex. And the 4 entrances signify that anybody's welcome there. So like, for example, if you're not a Muslim, you can't go to Mecca. If you're not a high caste Hindu, there's a lot of temples that you can't get into. But this is like open to everybody. And then he was actually killed by Muslim fundamentalists, right? But his son didn't bear a grudge against Islam because there is no religion, it's just people. And there was Muslims in a town that he was managing that needed a mosque. So he made them one. So that's an example of tolerance, you see. The head of one religion makes a worshipping place of another religion, and it wasn't like, oh, you have to be us to get into heaven, and then the 9th Guru, on the converse, actually saved the whole of Hinduism. They were being converted like by force, and he said that's not right. So he stood up for their defense, and for that he was beheaded in Delhi. So you've got the head of a religion now giving his life to save people of another religion. Again, quite a unique example. So the gurus for us, they're like the embodiment of that divine truth, and they set the example that we should be, living in this way, of oneness, of equality, of justice. And what the gurus did is they in the 10th Guru in 1708, he gave the guruship to the 11th Guru, which is the scripture. So he said, from now on, the scripture is your guru. So it was made by them. No one else kind of changed it. It's been the same since then. It wasn't like after they came and someone wrote it. It's only been 300 years ago that it was created. So imagine like now, the Bible was made like 500 years after Christ, right? So imagine if now the Sikhs had to sit down and make the Guru Granth Sahib Ji, or 200 years from now. What a mess it'd probably be, So we're lucky in that way because the Gurus made the scripture. But what they did was very unique, yeah? To embody that message of oneness, they actually put in writings inside the scripture by people that weren't just Sikh. People of other traditions, who may have been from a Hindu tradition or Muslim tradition, their writing, which was again poetry to God, they put it in there.
Okay.
To teach us, like, we bow to this, yeah? That's what we do in a Gurdwara. So they said, like, God is everywhere. We're not exclusively handling the truth. Yeah? The truth is everywhere.
Okay.
And then what they did is that all of this, all the writings in there, it's all music.
Okay.
Yeah, and we sing it. And so the Gurus, they made it divided it by music. It's not divided by chapters on women, chapter about morality.
Right.
It's divided by music, and we're meant to sing it. And especially we're meant to sing it using stringed instruments. Because the idea of music is right.
Yeah.
I don't know. You like music yourself?
Yeah, I like music.
What's your favorite kind of
I
music?
like all sorts of music. I like reggae.
Yeah.
I like hip hop. I like metal. I like rock. I like.
Okay,
classical,
let's
I like
say I put in
everything.
a James Brown on, yeah?
Right.
And you're gonna listen to it, and it's like, I feel good, yeah? You're gonna
Okay.
feel happy, aren't you, straight away, right?
Well, yeah.
Yeah, so it kind of music is like a way to open up your soul. And what the Gurus really want us to do as human beings is to connect to God through our heart. So love, yeah? So that's why music is so important to us. It kind of awakens our soul and gets us feeling emotions, yeah? And then we can channel them towards the Creator. So it's all about loving God. And the Gurus actually made instruments as well. They were master musicians, but they didn't just like play them. They actually made new instruments and stuff. So it's pretty cool.
Okay.
And
You
then
don't have any with you here today?
no, just this mic, yeah.
Right.
But I mean, in terms of what the Gurus did, if you go to a temple now, like a Gurdwara, there's two parts to it. One is the place where they have the scripture and people singing the scripture, and the other place is where they have free food.
Right.
Every
Okay.
Gurdwara has free food.
Oh, that's nice.
Open to everybody. Doesn't have to be a Sikh,
Yeah.
rich or poor, and we all sit together and we eat it together. So regardless of like whether you're a Christian or you're a Sikh or you're Buddhist or you're black, white, or you're gay, straight, or you're, whatever you want to believe in, yeah? Or even if you're a billionaire and you're poor, we all sit together, we have the same food together. So it's like all this theory I talked about is nice in theory, yeah? But when you put it into practice is when you sit and have a meal together.
That's how it should be. That's how the world should be.
So the
really.
Gurus, they made this system so that we could then stick to this message, sing it, and have food together. And you can't change it. Yeah. So 300 years from now, this place, the Golden Temple, is the biggest free kitchen in the whole world.
Wow.
And every year they feed like millions of people.
I hope I can
Food.
go sometime.
Anybody's welcome. Anyway, there's Gurdwaras in this country as well. So.
Okay.
What do you think? So I talked you through this interesting...
Well, I'm glad that I found out about it. Like I said, I didn't really know anything. I know a bit about Hinduism, I know a bit about Islam, but nothing about Sikhs. I just thought it was possibly just a branch off of Islam. I really didn't know anything.
People often have that conception. It's a misconception, but I mean, anybody can be a Sikh, and you go like, white people here, black people here, they are Sikhs, it's not restricted, but we don't go out there converting people in a sense. We don't say to people, if you don't become one of us, that you go to hell or something. A lot of people have that exclusive view of God, We say, look, we meditate this way. If you want to live as a Sikh, then you can. But it's not about believing in something. Because there's no point in believing in God. Almost it's better to experience God, right? Than to believe in God. It's like believing the tooth fairy. Unless you see her, you're not going to know if she's around, right? It might be your parents to take the tooth out and put the money in. So, I mean, we have a YouTube channel. So you can, like loads of videos on this, like 200 videos on there. Little videos, long videos. There's a lady here who's from, she's from America, but now she's living out in Dominican Republic. She's a Sikh as well. So there's that, and then we also have an invitation for you guys to join us on Twitter, Facebook, and maybe an open day or something you can turn up to.
All right, thanks. I will check you guys out. I need to get back to work, but thank you so much.
Nice talking to you.
Yeah, thank you so much.
Bye bye.
Vaheguru, Vaheguru, Vaheguru.